Look, I know the title sounds crazy, but please just hear me out. Well, not like that. I want to start the year off with a confession. Now, if there's anything that I have done that I guess could get me canceled in the future, it would probably be this. Even though nothing bad happened, or, well, definitely not illegal, but, well, I don't know. Let me just explain. It sounds worser. It sounds worser than what it really is. You'll see. I understand that Predators and Minecraft go hand in hand like the Duffer Brothers and plot holes, which I like the ending to Stranger Things. Hot take, I guess. I don't know. I enjoyed it. And though no one was asking the question, I wanted to clear the air on something. I am not attracted to minors. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But there was this incident that almost happened 2 years ago, actually. Even though it feels like it happened yesterday, I still hear those words in my sleep. Well, for some context, I was 18 at the time when this all went down, and I had just started working at this pharmacy next to me. This all started one random day in December. I was still learning the ropes of this new job, and I was in the photo department when one of my managers told me to go to lunch. I told her okay and signed off on the phone thingy and made my way to the break room. On the way there, I passed by the entrance where I saw this girl standing there, looking lost. She had like some papers in her hand and she was like scrolling on her phone. And now, when I first saw her, I kind of froze a little because my first thought was, could that really be her? Now, for some even more context, I was, well, how do I say this? I was going through something at the time. I had this like slight obsession. Well, I mean, I don't even know if you would call it that. I was in the process of getting over this girl I met in high school. And well, after high school, I began to see her face, everywhere. And I almost like that one scene from Despicable Me when, what was her name? Lucy? I forgot her name. The Gru's wife, they end up getting married, but she was like on a plane and then she sees Gru's face everywhere, like even on the baby. I don't know. That's basically what would happen with me and this, individual, which is also how I got a job at this pharmacy. I met this girl. Well, actually, that's a story for another time. Anyways, the girl from high school, I call her Jasmine, and, that's not her real name, but yeah, I met Jasmine in my physics class of high school, and, I thought at the time that she was the prettiest girl I had ever seen. For a little description, she had like curlyish hair and would sometimes like put it up like in a ponytail and then like take little strands of her hair and stick those out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like two sides. And she also wore her signature hoop earrings, which, well, I could go into more detail, but I mean, I feel like this whole video would be about her. I am over her though. But if she randomly decided to reach out, I maybe would drop everything for her. No, I'm joking. No. At the time, I wasn't over her and I was constantly thinking about Jasmine. So when I saw this girl, which, I mean, she didn't even look similar to Jasmine. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was kind of shocked, and I eventually, pulled myself together and went up to this girl at the entrance of the store, and I asked her if she needed anything. She said that she was there for an interview and that she was just waiting for my manager to call her in for the interview. So I nodded and told her good luck. And that was the end of our first interaction. I didn't think much of it, and just that she reminded me of Jasmine, and yeah. Well, 2 weeks go by, and now it's the start of January, and my manager told me that we would start getting some new hires. I was excited because, I would finally not have to do everything myself, because during Christmas time, I don't know if everyone quit or what, but we were heavily understaffed. The day after he told me that, I clock in expecting the usual, but I ran into my manager who was facing the opposite way, and he was motioning with his hands, almost like he was gesturing, right? And, for some reason it didn't click in my head that he was talking to someone, but, all this happened in the span of like 3 seconds. I went up to him and quickly said, like, what's up? And he turns around and like something straight out of the movies, he says, "Oh, perfect, you're here." And as he turns around and moves out of the way, he reveals the girl I saw a couple weeks ago waiting for her interview. Yeah, we both gave each other this "it's you" type of look, and which my manager picked up on and said something like, I guess you guys don't have to introduce yourself. I don't know. He then asked me if I could train our new hire. And of course, I told him yeah. And he went about his day, leaving me alone with this person, which I don't know. I don't know why I'm making it sound like, if there's one thing I'm naturally good at, it is making regular random moments sound awkward to other people. She told me her name was Samantha, and obviously I'm not going to use her real name, but we got along nice, and I asked her, if she knew the basics, and well, I mean, she wasn't a lobotomite, so yeah. But the whole time, I was talking to her, I couldn't get past the fact that she reminded me so much of this Jasmine character. And I was thinking to myself, like, would it really be that bad to have a constant reminder of Jasmine every time I clock into work? Like would this distract me from having a good productive day at work? Or will it make me depressed that I have this constant reminder of the person I fumbled really bad? Or maybe it would motivate me to go to work, something to look forward to, almost like a soldier out in battle with a picture with their wife or their loved one. This just sounds weird. I don't know how to describe emotions. I promise this sounds weirder than what it really was. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I'm folding under zero pressure. All right, let me continue digging. Fast forwarding to that dreadful day, this last, or at least last important interaction happened late January of 2024. Now, some weeks have passed, and Samantha and I hadn't seen each other. I was usually closing all the time while she was opening most of the time, so I didn't really know her, which, to be clear, I tried to, actually get to know my coworkers, not just the usual small talk, which, I mean, there were some pretty cool people working there, and I had a blast most of the time, and I would have stayed there too if it weren't for those meddling managers. Well, one manager to be specific, but that's a story for another day. I was looking at the schedule and saw that I actually had a shift with Samantha, and I think it was there when I realized that I hadn't thought of Jasmine in a while, which was kind of nice because, I mean, perhaps I could look at Samantha as just Samantha and not as someone who reminds me of this Jasmine character. I was excited that I might have the chance to get to know this Samantha individual more. And based off my first interaction with her, I mean, she seemed pretty cool. Now, well, you already know where this is going just based off the title, but I want to set the record straight. All right. I personally like to date around my age range, right? At the time this happened, I was 18. And just to be safe, if you want to call it that, I basically had this rule that if I were to date someone, they would have to be older than 18, but to be specific, outside of high school. Because, I mean, I just found that odd. Like, what would you even talk about? Like, hey, babe, how was school? Oh, yeah? What'd you do fourth period? Like, I don't know. To each their own. Well, as long as it's legal. I just always have preferred someone as mature, if not more mature than me, or than I. No, than me. And not just in age, but like, I'm talking like emotionally and financially, the adult stuff. And I think because of that, I feel like people are way much more younger than what they truly are, because I feel like it is sometimes difficult to act your age. So I always assume people are younger than what they really are. So especially in looks, like I suck at determining people's ages based off of their looks. It's so bad, which is why what happened next with Samantha was so shocking and so surprising. Just brace yourself. The shift started out, normal. It just seemed like an average day, and Samantha had told me that our manager had told her to tell me that I needed to train her on how to close the store. I didn't know she hadn't closed before, but I told her the basics and how to fix up the aisles, taking back go backs, cleaning the store, and yeah, this is where it all goes to shit. I think it was an hour before closing when this happened. I was signaling to Samantha that she should start announcing on the speaker that we were going to close soon and to bring all the stuff to the front. And she makes the announcement, and I go to the register she isn't using because I don't know. I forgot what I was looking for there, but I saw that she was ringing up this customer, but she stopped and had this look of confusion. She then calls my name and asks me if I could help her out with something. Oh God. I go to her register and I look at her screen. But before I could read anything, she tells me that the machine isn't letting her scan a certain product. Now, for some context here, the register machine thingy system has this like safety feature, I guess. I don't know. It's this screen that pops up if you aren't allowed to scan something and you need a manager or someone of age or someone who has completed training to, continue the transaction. Point is, Samantha couldn't ring up a product, and I saw the screen and immediately I started searching for alcohol or maybe cigarettes or a gift card, something that she wasn't allowed to sell because she wasn't authorized to continue the transaction. And I saw nothing. I think there was like some tissues, a Diet Coke, and some candy on the counter, which none of that would cause the screen to pop up. So I was starting to get confused too. But suddenly I noticed she had something in her hands, a small red lighter. And my confusion started to get overwhelmed by concern. Concern that perhaps one of those cheap 99-cent lighters was the reason why the system refused to let her continue with the transaction. Which could only mean two things. Either she hadn't done some training that allows you to sell lighters, which, was news to me. I hadn't heard of that. Or maybe if you're under the age of 18, the system wouldn't let you sell dangerous items like a lighter. I don't know. Both were plausible, so I don't know. Now, again, all of these thoughts happened in an instant, I simply looked at her hands to see a lighter, and then I looked at her, and she gave me this look of like almost asking me, you think it's a lighter? So I scanned my card to see if that'll continue the transaction, and the screen unlocked. So she was able to check out. She told me thank you, and I just nodded. But as I was walking away, I started to ask myself, could Samantha really be underage? Like, that's why she couldn't sell the lighter, which I, quickly disregarded. I said, no. There's no way. She doesn't look well. I was also kind of panicking because I started to ask myself, well, why am I panicking? Like, even if she was underage, in some wild scenario, if she was under the age of 18, it's not like I was ever attracted to her. I was like, all I thought was that she kind of reminded me of Jasmine. So, I guess it would be a stretch to say that I was attracted to her in any way. And why am I even thinking about this? Because, she has to be 18. My managers told me that they had to tell us when a minor was working with us. And I just kept on thinking about this all day while I finished up my tasks. And the final hour goes by and we officially close the store. I had totally forgot that I was supposed to be training this Samantha character until she came up to me and asked me what to do next. I asked her if she did her go backs, which she said yes to, and at that moment, I was still hung up on that lighter incident of 24 that I kind of let an awkward silence pass by. But eventually, I said that we needed to take the trash out. I asked her to grab a cart and well, not to bore you with the process of taking out the trash, we ended up with 2 bags filled with trash, which these are the trash cans you see outside of the store. So they stink and always leak. It was this. I hated taking out the trash so much, but I don't know. I'm stalling. I'm dreading this next part, man. I guide her to the back of the store where the trash compactor is at, and it's just the 2 of us alone in the back of the store where if you aren't talking, it is dead silent. I don't know why, but I swear for some reason they soundproof that room. Anyways, we're standing in front of the trash compactor, which has a big warning sign there saying that only people who are over the age of 18 can use the trash compactor. So I decided that this was a perfect time to pop the question. Oh God. I looked at Samantha and I asked her if she's ever used the trash compactor, which she shook her head to and said no. And then very swiftly and very nonchalantly, I asked, "Wait, how old are you?" To which Samantha said, "I just turned 16. Yeah. Now, I don't think my jaw was actually on the floor, but it sure as hell felt like it was. I literally was speechless. Like, I felt like Peter finding out that Homegirl's father was Scorpion or Raven or Crow Dude. I forgot the villain, but I think my eyes widened slightly and but my eyebrows curved up, and it almost felt like one of them dolly zooms that they use in cameras to like show this, shock or I don't even know what I'm losing my words as I speak right now. I'm not even making coherent sentences. I think I just gave her a simple nod and threw the bags of trash in myself. I'm not sure if I even said anything after that, but a million thoughts were just flying by in my head. One, what? Like, I'm usually known for thinking people are way younger than what they really are. How was I this far off? 2, and I need to elaborate on this, at no point did I ever find this Samantha character attractive. At least, I don't think I did. Like I said before, if there's anyone who I was attracted to or had feelings for, it would be Jasmine, who, for some odd reason, Samantha reminded me of. So yeah, that's what I mean when I say almost in the title. But now let me play devil's advocate here. I don't know why I'm doing this, bro. Let's just say I was attracted to Samantha. Well, I don't know. I feel weird. Let's take Samantha out of the equation. Say if someone is 18 and they meet someone they believe is also 18, and they talk to them, get to know them, and realize that they are attracted to them. However, they later find out that this person they found attractive was 16. Now, in my mind, I think it's possible for you to no longer feel attracted to them. Because, I don't know, the same way someone who doesn't like to date older people, when they find out someone is, 8 years older than them, but they don't look the part, like, they might no longer be attractive to them. Like, it's possible, but does it still make the initial feelings of attraction weird? I don't know. I'm yapping at this point. I think I cleared the air on a situation no one knew about but my friends. And me personally, I really do just think that this is just a funny story to tell people, but I don't know. Crazy moment and definitely a twist I wasn't expecting. I personally find Predators sick, which, I don't understand how people finally get a career, throw it all away for a middle schooler. That's so weird. Yeah, okay, I'm yapping. That's enough. I should go do more important stuff. But quickly, I wanted to say thank you so much for 10,000 subscribers. I literally never thought I would get this many eyes on me or ears on me. Yeah, here I am talking about how I was almost attracted to a minor. Oh God. It still feels weird knowing that I'm not talking to a brick wall and that real breathing, living humans out there listen sometimes all the way to the end of the video, which if you are, let's see, comment the red lighter incident of 24 with like a heartbreak emoji next to it. But Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll probably make a separate video talking about, 10K subs, but perhaps it'll be an introduction. I don't know. I'll see. All right. I'm gonna head out and do important stuff now. Important stuff about to be done soon. All right. Bye-bye.